Hi, everyone. Vanessa Ray of Light here from vanessarayoflight.com, talking about my Miracle Mindset weight loss program. And something just came up for me. I often teach from example in my own life. And I had this thing happen, and I thought, what a good time to take a moment to share this, because I know other people struggle with this, and it gets in so many people's way, and it robs us. When we're robbed of whatever you want to call it, your light, your positivity, your inspiration, motivation to do your best, be your best, it doesn't stop with us, right? So we're not just robbing ourselves of our own happiness, and robbing ourselves of the thing that we're working towards, the thing that we want, but it ends up rippling outwards, and we're robbing the world and our friends and our family and our communities of the better version of us that they would get to be with, right? So our influence doesn't end with us. So in that sense, it really matters when we let ourselves be sabotaged by this egoic voice that really wants to harm us, keep us small. I mean, and yes, I think it's developed, and we know through genetics, and it's what keeps us safe, right? The body, that part of the brain is scared, and change is a challenge, and it's threatening, and it's safer if we just keep repeating the same damn effed up thing that we've been doing, because it keeps us in the comfort zone, even if it's a perverse comfort zone that has very little to do with comfort for us, real comfort, and more to do with familiar hell, right? So what I'm saying here, and I'm going to give you some examples in a minute, is that it matters because it's not just about your happiness, although your happiness is reason enough. It's about when you are robbing yourself of your higher expression, you're dimming that light for the entire world. When everyone does that, it's a darker place. Nastier stuff goes on, right? And it impacts everyone. It's the whole overall, it's the macrocosm of the microcosm. And then the other flip side is when you are doing the right things for you, living what's right for you, doing your best at it, at least, that also ripples out. And that is a gift to others. And so that's sometimes motivating to me when I think, like, for instance, last night, first of all, yesterday, I had an amazing talk with a group. And it just went really well. And I felt so inspired, like impassioned. I mean, it was intense, and I felt carried away by a certain energy and so full of conviction. And it makes me think of what Marianne Williamson says, that of course Miracle says is miracles arise out of conviction, that I was able to get into a state of such convicted energy of clarity and purpose. And it was electrifying. And I think it was pretty palpable, and it just went really well, and people got answers, and we stayed on another, like, maybe 25 minutes late, because it was just so juicy and everyone was enjoying themselves. And anyway, so it was what I felt like was a massive success for everyone. And then later that evening, I found myself doing things that felt disempowering. It seemed like it might be fun at the time, but I'm getting better at mastering, refining, paying attention to my choices. And when I find myself choosing something that I either know in the moment, but chances are I know even more a little bit later, were not the best choice, I go back and I'm like, okay, why did, if I said that I really want to be on a detoxifying diet right now, and I did, and I do, why then was I at the store and I bought pizza and cheesecake and pepperoni pizza and non-organic, but and yeah, part of it is it's not the biggest deal in the world and I'm a human and like, right. But it is interesting that I said one thing and then I found myself doing the other. And yes, it was for Violet and her friend. And I wanted to have like a little party and I wanted to appreciate them and give them a fun time. And I know how to do that with food. So anyway, I had that food at my house and I had some, then I had some more, then I had some more. And then I started feeling, I was like, okay, I'm not feeling good about this anymore. I'm starting to feel conflicted. Then I had to work my way out of it and like, Vanessa, let it go. Just practice being gentle with yourself. Like I had to go through the whole thing, and I thought it was so interesting that earlier, and I don't profess that I don't do that. So it's not, there's no hypocrisy. It was something for me to look at, and kind of turned my attitude around and felt pretty good. And I woke up and I just out of nowhere felt like going to the gym, which happens once a month. And I went and I was like, it was one of those times where I felt, it's almost like it's a natural high. I felt so good and so like good in every way, good physically, good mentally, good spiritually. I let whatever I do be enough, but I felt my body was energized. This energy felt like it came almost out of nowhere. And I was having insights and I don't know, it was like I was on a high and it felt amazing. And I came home and then I had some more, had some more of the pizza from last night, which it only means something because it means something to me because I had said, I don't want to have that again. And then I had it. And so one thing that I did is I looked at when I had it last night and when I had it today, both times I felt a little out of control with my energy. Like there was a lot going on. I felt a little anxious, maybe. I felt a little, has to do with taking care of other people. When I'm alone, it's easier for me to ground and center, and I'm extremely empathic. So I know that I get overwhelmed with energy, and a way that I handle it is by eating. That's how I'm taking control of the energy. And so I'm really, really glad that I got to that understanding for me, because then it's like, okay, well, now there might be other things to when I sense myself doing that. And sometimes I do want to eat pizza. Sometimes that is the right choice for me. So this is not an anti-pizza thing. This is how can I get better at staying in alignment, recalibrating to my alignment so that I am choosing better more of the time, even better, even more of the time, so that I'm living in that alignment that I felt when I was presenting was spot on. And that alignment I felt at the gym was like spot on. And, we're fluctuating human beings and everything around us, and everything is fluctuating. So it's not about being static and staying there. Let me hold on to this and like recreate this exact experience. But it is about riding the ups and downs and the flows and the challenging situations and the different energies. And how can I be like this awesome surfer navigating all of it? And yeah, like I said, of course, there's going to be fluctuations, and I have no expectation that I would do it perfectly, but I am interested in getting better at it. I am interested in self-mastery, and particularly around, food, body, diet, it's actually, energy mastering. It's just that the energy that I coach people with most of the time, the results, at least that we're talking about, are the physical energy, your physical body, right? Your resulted manifested energy, but it's energy. And the way that that I talk about it, and the way that we get to mastering your body is by mastering your thought energy, your emotion energy, the visceral energy, the energy you feel, that vibration, right? So I'm having all these insights as I look closer at my energy by the choices I make and the way I feel and all that. I realized, every time I decide to kind of eat out of control or eat something I don't really want to eat, I have it's almost like an angry, like I'm a little upset that things are going the way they're going and I'm being controlling, but I'm overeating food is my way of controlling it or managing it. So that was a really great insight for me, because first of all, I don't need to go into the discussion of why. This is what I kind of started this conversation about, or at least this, I guess it's not a conversation, but it's a one-way conversation, which I'm happy to have a two-way conversation with you, is that we can often go into, why am I sabotaging myself? Okay, well, I went to the gym. Why did I come home and eat pizza? And it's like, we tend to want the ego. It's not really us. It's our egoic mind that wants us to suffer, wants us to go into this place of, why did I do that? I just worked out and now I did this. And it takes away, it acts as if me eating pizza cancels out that I went to the gym. Now, when you're looking from an objectifying, totally physical, what you see is what you get perspective, which is actually false. What you see is not what you get at all. Then yeah, you could take that perspective, which is disempowering, inaccurate. What you see is not what you get, meaning this physical body, the way you see me right now, I'm a bunch of squiggly wiggles. I'm not solid. If we're going to use that argument, if we're going to use that argument, it's false. So, I don't see the earth as round. I know we've learned it's round, but I don't see it round. But if I say what you see is what you get, then I'd say, okay, well, the sun goes down. Well, we know now it's not the sun actually going down, right? We know now that that there's so many instances that what I just said can be inserted into. And the point is, me going to the gym cannot be taken away. I went to the gym and had a wonderful time and I did what I did. And me eating pizza doesn't take away the fact that I went to the gym. Like, you mean so eating pizza creates a time machine where I travel back in time and don't choose the gym? Like, of course not. And I know what that statement means. It means, well, why did you do that? All the work you just did is canceled out then. And by the way, the pizza I ate was, I'm sure, so many more calories than I burned. So yeah. So I get that there's this belief of what you just did took away what you just did, but it's so effed up. Because first of all, it's not true. My morning was what it was. Eating pizza is a totally different thing, right? And the whole purpose of a comment like that would be to, you effed up. You really messed that up. And now all that you experienced that morning was for nothing because you ruined it with pizza. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because we live in this totally conditioned, culturally, media, almost every way we're conditioned, and we can't help but be conditioned. And for those of us in the food, weight loss, body, that whole industry, there's so many things in our head that are poisonous. And that's one of them, because that was one of the first places that my head went, not because it's where it's true and not because it's where I want to be, but because I've been conditioned to oh no, why did you eat pizza? You had just gone to the gym. And then I thought, that's so insane. That's such a ridiculous, disempowering jerk of a thing for that voice in my head to say. As if eating some pizza, first of all, it's assuming that eating pizza is horrible for you. That's not an absolute truth at all. So there's this judgment. And then it's assuming that the pizza can erase something else, which again, it's not true, and then its whole intent is to try to make me feel like, why would I do that? Because it's obviously the wrong thing. And so that just builds up resistance to weight loss. resistance to feeling good and feeling proud, more belief, more false belief in the sabotager, more belief that I can't lose weight, or I can't have both, or I can't, and we do this all the time. We are so infantilization. We're intoxicated. We're obsessed. We're so into that voice that wants to put us down, that prances around in our heads like it's the truth. And it's really just a total asshole, right? It's really just a total jerk. You look at the intent behind that, and it's like to tear you down and say, what's wrong with you? Why did you mess this up? Well, that's an abuse right there. So when we start being, and we're not even being as harsh back, we're just calling it for what it is. Like, well, those are disempowering words for the purpose of disempowering, and it's not accurate. It's not factual. Yet we take it in as if that's the truth, build our identity and our belief system around it, and then make our choices around that. And then we believe that over all the good stuff. Someone gives us a compliment, or someone tells us anything's possible, or someone tells us we're beautiful, and we can't, it's like, okay, it's not real. That's not right. It's like, of course you don't think it's real and it's right, because you've identified, you've let this like leech parasite of negativity masquerade as your real self, and it's not you. It's not you. And I catch myself like this all the time. That's why I wanted to share this example, is that like, it doesn't come up every day for me, but when it does, I work through it just like I have my clients work through it, just like I help my friends work through it, just like I help myself work through it, because it is insidious. We do one good thing, all these judgments. We do one thing that feels fabulous, and we do one thing that maybe isn't in our most aligned choosing and isn't in line with our goals. But then we blow it way out of proportion and beat ourselves up and carry on this drama. So, the moral of the story is drop the drama, and the drama in your head, the drama of believing the wrong thing, right? So that was my message for you today. I hope someone got something out of it. I'm on most of the social medias. Please feel free to continue listening and message me if you want to go further and talk about this, ask any questions. I am having a free 5-day weight loss training coming up at the end of January. And right now we're in the year 2022. So if you're watching this deep in the future, that may or may not be true for that year. But January 2022, I'm doing a free training. I don't have all the stuff of what I'm going to talk about yet, but it will definitely be about, I know what the bonus is. The bonus is learn how to lose weight in your sleep. I think that sounds so exciting. It has to do with the hypnotherapy that I've been giving out and reprogramming the subconscious with. And we're going to talk about aligned eating. We're going to talk about limiting beliefs. It's an hour a day. It's free. And anyone who is interested is welcome. And I've been asked this question twice now. Can men come to? Men can come to. Anyone with an open mind, a kind heart, and a sincere desire and interest in the material is welcome. Please, please, please. So Vanessa, rayoflight.com. Okay, bye.